Welcome back, everybody. I'm the Blonde Fox, and today we're going to continue playing some more Genshin Impact. So last time we left off, we found the plazarite and everything, the whatever it was. I can't remember the name of it because they called it two different things. Because it's technically a type of plazarite, but if it's the large one that floats, it's something different. Technically, vermilion something or another. But anyways, we found that Shenhe carried it all the way back here, even though the thing is like the size of a house. It's like the size of that rock over there. She just carried it over here, no big deal. And we found out from Cloud Retainer, whenever Shenhe went to go rest, we saw Cloud Retainer show up, and Cloud Retainer let us know that, yeah, Shenhe's actually human, not an Adeptus like everyone thinks she is. Which kind of had a feeling, considering Shenhe kept trying to tell us something and was just like, wait, no, you know, kind of thing. But anyways, so yeah, that's pretty much it. So we have to wait until the following day, and then we're going to get back into rebuilding the Jade Chamber. So yeah, remember to like the video if you like it, and subscribe if you want to see more. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so we need to rest until 8 the next day. Nice and early. Let's say we'll get up at 8:30. Ding, 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 ding. I'm so glad they changed. They've messed with the clock a little bit to make it easier to like read and figure out, okay, like that's tomorrow. And I think they made it to where now you can go around like twice. See? And it tells you, like, before you would just go around and it wouldn't tell you if it was tomorrow or not down there, even though you could kind of assume, you know, after 24 hours it's the next day. But anyways, they messed with that a bit, which was nice.
Hey, so Shenhua.
Master has relayed my situation to you, I take it.
Oh? How did you know?
I'd intended to wait until you came back before going to sleep, but I didn't hear you come in. I was worried that something may have happened to you, so I went outside to check and caught sight of my master. On top of this, you have been acting very strangely around me this morning, causing me to suspect that my master must have told you everything about me. After all, Master is very talkative.
Sorry, Shenhua. Paimon had you down as an Adeptus this whole time, but it turns out Paimon was wrong.
It's okay. I don't mind. The fault is mine for not explaining everything to you sooner, because in my experience, trying to explain is a futile pursuit. Still, though you mistook me for an Adeptus, you never treated me as distant and unapproachable. Instead, you treated me as you would a friend. For this, I am very grateful indeed.
To be fair, we've met our fair share of real Adepti, too. Anyway, now it's settled. From now on, you're our friend. Whether you're an Adeptus or a human isn't the important thing. First and foremost, we're just plain old friends.
Got it. Although I don't know quite what it entails in terms of what I have to do, I must say I like the title Friend very much indeed.
Great! Well, now that we're all rested up, we should start searching for the other 2 items on the list. But before we do that, let's go to the building site and ask Ningguang's little helper how the progress is going. After all, Sunset Vermilionite is so rare. Paimon doubts many competitors will really be able to find any. If it turns out some of them have given up already, we'll be able to take things a little more slowly. Oh, and another thing. We bought some grilled chicken drumsticks on the way back last night. There was a place just outside.
Paimon's already feeding her.
This one for you, Shenhua. Try it. They're so good.
I concur. It has a rich flavor, far more agreeable than those I've cooked for myself in the wilderness in the past.
I really like Shenhe. She doesn't get a lot of screen time in this, in this event. Is I think the only. I don't know if she has a character story or not, but she's really interesting. I love. Sorry, Paimon. I'm gonna talk over you real quick. I love Shenhe. I love her personality. Like I said, I already love her design. Like, she's adorable. She's awesome. She's cool looking. I love her voice. Amazing job on the voice acting. And like I said, I love her personality that went with for her. She's just really sweet and wholesome and direct, and I love people like that. So, I don't know. She's just one of my favorite characters, even though I don't have her, and I don't care. Her playstyle is just okay. Design-wise, she's a 10 in my opinion, so yeah. Anyways, I just had to finish that little statement because I keep getting cut off by Paimon, who finds it fun to interrupt me.
But it seems to be tied down by something.
That's because it's not finished.
Hey, Byron! And hey! People Paimon doesn't know?
Given the enormous scale of the Jade Chamber, we split the construction work into 2 phases to make sure the structure remains balanced. Before we find some suitable plastrite, we build the Jade Chamber's keel at ground level. Once the plastrite is ready, we place it into the keel and let the partially constructed Jade Chamber rise up to the height of the surrounding mountain peaks. The remainder of the construction work is then carried out at that altitude. Once everything is ready, we release the iron tethers and allow the Jade Chamber to rise to its target altitude.
Miss Bywin, we've brought some new materials to submit.
One moment, I'll be right there. The construction work has only been able to progress this rapidly thanks to the plastrite provided by you. Lady Ningguang is most grateful and looks forward to seeing more of your work.
Wow, can't believe you sourced the plastrite so quickly. It's the key piece of the puzzle. Looks like you beat us to the punch. Wait, I know you. You're the one who fought against the Vatuian Osile, right? Oh, sure enough, your reputation precedes you. Pleased to meet you. I'm Beto, captain of the Crux.
Beto? Are you here to join the Jade Chamber contest too?
Sure am. I happened to get my hands on a chunk of sunset vermilionite on a voyage a while back, so I figured I'd bring it over.
Huh. So even though it's rare, we're not the only ones who managed to get a hold of it.
Oh, I've got some introductions to do. This is the renowned Miss Yun, or Yunjin, probably the most famous figure in the Liyue opera scene.
Greetings.
These two are Paimon and the Traveler. I'm sure you've heard of them before. And this is... sorry, I'm not sure we've met.
Shenhe. I am their friend.
Good to meet you. Well, from today on, I guess all of us are friends. Miss Yun is also here for the contest. Turns out she needed to borrow a boat, so we came together.
It's an honor to finally meet you both. I've heard much about you. Miss Shenhe, though we are only meeting for the first time, I have a feeling that we will get along very well indeed. To be honest with you all, I am in great need of this opportunity to ask Lady Ningguang a question. That's why I joined the contest. Thanks to my father's connections, I was able to acquire a specimen of the plastrite required. Fortunately, it was approved for submission, despite being a little on the diminutive side.
Wow. So it looks like the 3 of us are competitors now.
Excuse me for prying, Miss Shenhe, but are you competing as well?
No, I don't have any questions for Ningguang. I just wanted to help him win.
In that case, I have a proposal to make. Lady Ningguang said that the first 3 contestants to procure all 3 materials will be awarded the chance to ask a question. Well, there are 3 teams here. We can split the prize between us. Instead of competing against each other, we could work together to secure the top 3 places between us. What do you think?
Sounds great, but how does it change things exactly?
I think I see where you're going with this, Miss Yun. The plastrite was the most difficult item to source by a long shot. Luckily, all 3 of us managed to get our hands on it. The 2 remaining items aren't quite so rare, so as long as one of us finds a way to source it, the other 2 can hop on the bandwagon. How'd I do? Is that what you had in mind?
Precisely.
Huh. Interesting approach.
Okay then. All right, I'll go first. I have some leads on these wonder cores. From what I've heard, the core itself is really not that difficult to make. The hard part is getting hold of the ore used as raw materials. I'm gonna head back to the ship and ask Suling if he's heard of them. You guys...
We will head into town and seek advice from Master Zhang of Hanfeng's Ironmongers. Thoughts?
You can trust Master Zhang's smithing skills.
Wonderful. We'll split into teams then, and whoever makes progress first brings all of us a step closer to victory. I'm gonna take off. See you later.
Okay, let's go! By the way, what question are you gonna ask Ningguang Yunjin?
I'm looking for a venue to host the performance of our new opera. Lady Ningguang has excellent judgment, so I would like to hear her opinion.
Ooh, what's the opera called? Paimon wants to go see it.
The opera is a labor of love by my father. He wrote it based on a popular urban legend about an evil spirit and an adeptus. It's called The Divine Damsel of Devastation.
I really like Yunjin's style too. They really did a good job designing these characters because these were like some of the last layaway characters they released and everything before the Inazuma update or after the update. I can't remember if it was before or after, but basically they were like some of the last characters and they were really good designs. They went all out. Yet I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly or not, so kind of take this with a very, very large grain of salt, what I'm about to say, but I'm pretty sure that whenever I did this, because I had already gone to Inazuma and everything and met Beto that way and whatnot, because, you know, slight spoiler, we need a ship, and Beto's pretty much the only one who's got a good enough ship to get us to Inazuma, so, yeah, slight spoiler, sorry guys, but, I mean, it's kind of obvious, but basically, it should be right over here, yeah.
Wouldn't gliding be
And so,
faster?
basically, I'd already met Beto before I did... Oh, for a second there, it looked like that flower pot was floating over the edge, that was weird. Anyways... And so, I'd already met Beto, and so I think she had different dialogue whenever I did this quest. Because here, it was like, it was her first time meeting us, and she introduced herself and everything, but I'm pretty sure that whenever I did this quest, I had already met her. And so she didn't introduce herself or anything, and it just went straight into her, like, knowing us. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I'm pretty sure that's how it went. It was so long ago, I can't remember, so that's why I said take it with a very, very large grain of salt. But if it is, like, if they actually made it towards two different dialogues, depending on if you met the character yet or not, that is really cool and a great attention to detail, and I greatly appreciate it whenever games do that. So, anyways.
Ah, hello. Are you here for something off the shelf, or do you need something forged?
Excuse me, Master Zhang. We were wondering if you'd heard of something called a Wonder Core.
Of course I have. Sorry, who's asking?
My name is Yunjin. Perhaps you don't know me, but I believe that you forged some weaponry for my father in the past for stage use.
Yunjin? Stage use? Oh, so you must be Miss Yoon. Sorry, my brain's finally caught up. It's not used to doing much beyond bashing a hammer all day. Everyone's heard of you, Miss Yoon, even folks who don't make it to the opera all that often. Like myself. So, you're here to ask about Wonder Cores, huh? As it happens, I do know how to make them. Matter of fact, I made some for Lady Ningguang back when she was building the original Jade Chamber. The types of ore needed to make Wonder Cores are a little hard to come by. Lady Ningguang supplied them herself last time. I don't suppose you've brought any yourselves?
No, we were gonna ask you what kinds of ore we need.
Sure. Well, you'll need two kinds. Star Splinter Iron and Subrosium. If I remember correctly, Lady Ningguang sourced her Star Splinter Iron from the Mount Tianheng area. They say it resonates with visions. It could take some work, but if you stick with it, you'll find some eventually. As for the Subrosium, though, that's trickier. It's all but unheard of on the market.
And then where do we start?
I'm really not sure. Sorry. What I've heard is that the people around Mount Tianheng have some sort of magic trick that can pinpoint the location of the stuff. Of course, it's probably just hearsay. If you want my advice, start by looking for Star Splinter Iron around Mount Tianheng. And if you run into any locals, ask them a few questions about Subrosium.
Mount Tianheng.
Interestingly enough, the story of the Divine Damsel of Devastation also takes place on that mountain. I hear the view there is quite spectacular. A favorite destination of the Adepti, in fact. Perhaps it can give me some inspiration. Let's not delay. We should head straight there.
Sounds good. Okie dokie. So let's see. Mount Tianheng. Wait, it's over here? I thought it was... Oh, no. Okay, it's here, but it's at the base of the mountain. Okay. For some reason, I was confusing it with one of the other mountains. Whoosh. A lot of talking in this one, ain't
I came
it?
to Mount Tianeng once with my father as a child. I remember it being such a long climb that I could barely feel my legs by the time we reached the top. This is quite a trip down memory lane for me. Look at these majestic, towering peaks and the gently flowing streams. It's like setting foot in paradise. No wonder the legend of the divine damsel of devastation is said to have taken place here. Adepti wander oft where mortals seldom stride. Indeed, this looks like a place that one might expect to be frequented by Adepti.
The Divine Damsel of Devastation is your upcoming opera, right? And the story takes place in Mount Tianheng. Huh. Seems like you have a real connection with this place. What's the story about, though?
It's the story of a girl becoming a hero.
Cool. A hero story? They're Paimon's favorite.
The legend first arose in this area. It is said that there used to be a prosperous village on the mountain. In that village, there was a loving couple who were completely devoted to one another. One day, a terrifying monster appeared. The wife was out collecting herbs and was captured by the monster. Her husband was so distraught at the news that it broke his spirit and drove him to madness. The vile and vicious monster told the villagers, "If you want to live, you must sacrifice a child to me."
What a nasty piece of work. Ugh. Paimon sure hopes this monster gets put in its place.
But the monster was so terrible and so strong that all within the village were terrified of it. They had no choice but to give in to the monster's demand. Just while they were discussing whose child would be given over to the monster, a little girl suddenly stood up and came forward.
No, don't do it, little girl.
Unbeknownst to anybody else, she was concealing an exorcist's blade. She approached the monster's lair, feigning fear and trepidation. When she finally arrived, she courageously drew her sword and entered into a fierce struggle with the monster, from which she eventually emerged as the victor. Her extraordinary abilities drew the attention of the Adepti, and they took her as one of their own. Her story became the stuff of legends. But alas, the paths of mortals and Adepti seldom cross, and she would never again re-enter the mortal world. And so, destined to grace the mortal realm for but a brief moment, she vanished like a wisp of smoke into thin air. That's how the opera ends.
This story sounds familiar. Looks at Shenhe.
I really like this story. But I personally think that perhaps the little girl was not as brave as the opera makes her out to be. I'm not sure she deserves all the praise she is given.
I've never considered that before. Opera is always an interpretation of the events it purports to portray. A certain degree of deviation from the truth is always inevitable. When my father wrote the script for this play, I suppose his intention was to inspire his audience with the character of the divine damsel.
I think it's a great story. The ideal story.
Well, it sure inspired Paimon. Let's go get ourselves some Star Splinter Iron. Yeah!
Okay, so we have to use a... Whenever it says use visions, does it mean use... I don't think it means use our actual vision, right? No, because it didn't say elemental sight can see it. It says that it resonates with vision. So... Oh. Okay, it means I need to use someone whose vision... Probably like Zhongli, whose vision's on his back, so that way it's easier to see whenever we get close, because it should start glowing as we get close then. My guess is up on mountainsides? Let's see. Is this them? It didn't seem like my vision was really glowing, though, but okay. There it is. Don't know why I said use visions for it, because it seems more like I'm just looking for the big glowing rocks. Yeah, look. Oh, wait. Duh. Let me guess. Bennett's is glowing like crazy, right? Yeah. Oh, how that is such a cool attention to detail. So see, Razor's and Bennett's visions are going ballistic. But Venti's and Zhongli's are fakes. Remember, they made them just so they don't look so suspicious because of the fact they're actually gods. And it would be the same where the Traveler, his vision wouldn't activate either because he doesn't have a vision. That is such a cool attention to detail. I remember reading that they did that, like with some of the quests and stuff, but I've never actually seen it myself. That is so cool. I love that.
This should be enough Star Splinter iron. Now we just need to find that Subrosium.
That is really cool. I love that.
saw
At
a
first I thought it was
village on our
broken.
way here. Master Zhong said we should ask the locals for help. Why don't we try there?
Could you imagine if you had a team of basically all people who didn't have it? Like if you had the Raiden Shogun, Zhongli, Venti, and the Traveler all together on a team, and basically you'd think this quest is totally busted because nothing's glowing.
Hey, there really is someone here. Yunjin, looks like you were right. Excuse us, sir. Can we ask you something? Huh. He didn't seem to catch that.
Hello, sir. We were just passing by and wanted to ask if you happen to know anything about Subrosium.
Is he trying to tell us to look for clues in the village? Well, whatever. Guess we're on our own here. Shenhua, Yunjin, let's have a look around.
Sorry, you can go ahead without me. I'd like to have a word with this gentleman. If that's okay with you, Uncle Mingjin.
It's...
Shenhe.
Shinho. You're alive. The rumors were true. So, all these years? I'm sorry, I don't know how to find Subrosium. But I think you can find some information in the village. This place is deserted now. No one ever comes here. So you can rummage around all you want.
Huh? You know this guy, Shenhua?
Thank you, kind sir. We'll go and take a look around. Don't worry. Mingjin has no ill intention towards Miss Shenhe. She'll be quite safe.
Okay, then let's see what we can find in this village.
Luckily, Yunjin can take a hint. She immediately was just like, ah, I see what's going on. Okay, we need to just move forward. She was like, read the room, right, Paimon? Okay, so first we'll go to the big glowing light. Ooh, chest.
Thank Barbados. Wait a minute.
What's this?
The doctor said you were gravely ill. Don't worry, I will give you everything I have to save you. My heart bleeds whenever I see you getting wearier, your illness beyond treatment. How I wish I could suffer the pain for you. You said you had no regrets in this life, and that you only wish for me to take good care of Shinhe, but if you regret nothing, why the tears? I don't know what I've been doing lately. Though I still breathe, I feel like an empty shell. I have read all the ancient texts, but I could get my hands on, looking for ways to save you. But it is entirely futile. I finally found it. It was Mingjin. He kept the book that could save you hidden. I took it and followed its instructions to summon a god and offer a sacrifice. The god appeared. I told him that I was willing to exchange my life for yours. He kept silent and only pointed at our daughter, Shinhe. The god said her fate was to bear the curse of calamity, and that she was prone to bring harm to those close to her. The god also said that she might even have been the cause of your death. In that case, I thought I should. I left her in the cave that the god mentioned. 3 days have passed and still no news. I grow restless from waiting, seized by an ominous feeling. I'm sorry, my love. Forgive me. You too, Shinhe. Please, forgive me. How stupid I was. How blind. Let me apologize to both of you in person. Maybe this is the true story of the divine damsel of devastation.
So, Shenhe is the divine damsel? Now that I think about it, she does behave rather like an adeptus, and she is about the right age. So that's why I've been getting the strangest feeling whenever I chat with her.
I should have noticed it earlier. According to this text, the divine damsel from the opera was actually the daughter of the loving couple. And she didn't volunteer. She was sacrificed to the monster by her own father. Oh, the truth is even more lamentable than the opera. Now I understand why Shenhe said the girl was not as brave as people think. It wasn't her choice to enter that ghastly situation. She was forced into it. Oh, it looks like my father may need to make a few revisions to his beloved opera.
Maybe not too many though. Shenhe did say she liked it because she preferred the story that was ideal, not the truth, you know. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and end this part here, and the next part we'll continue on with helping Shenhe, Yunjin, and Beidou, you know, rebuild the Jade Chamber with all of us so we can all win the prize and everything. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I wonder where we're gonna find the Sybrosium stuff or whatever it was. I can't even remember what it was now. Why are these words so hard for me to remember? I don't think we have a wish. Yeah, we're still like 17 away. We only got like 2 Prima Gems. There is a lot of talking in these last few, but luckily after all this quest is done, we go straight to heading towards Inazuma, which is going to be an awesome adventure. But yeah, we'll continue this quest in the next episode. Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked the video, remember to like it. Comment down below with your thoughts and opinions. I look forward to hearing from you guys. And remember to subscribe if you want to see more from me in the future. Until next time, see ya!